night. It's a place where two completely different worlds are about to crash into each other. So on one side, you've got Pankaj. He's a young, successful businessman, and you can just tell life's been pretty good to him. And then, on the other side, there's Radhika, a young widow clutching her child with a kind of pain in her eyes that tells a whole story of loss. Two people on a collision course. And while everyone else is just rushing past, something about her makes Pankaj stop. He actually pauses. He asks her what's wrong, and she tells him this just heartbreaking story. Her husband died, his family blamed her, and they threw her out. Now she's stuck on this platform, begging just to feed her child. It's a story of complete and total despair.
But just as this moment of real human connection happens, it gets violently shattered. And this is where everything changes. Suddenly, it's not just about giving her some money. It becomes a real test, forcing Pankaj to decide what he actually stands for.
A man just appears out of nowhere, grabbing Radhika's arm. He's aggressive, he's menacing, and he says these chilling words, as if she's a piece of property. He tells Pankaj that she's part of a gang, forced to beg while they take all the money.
So the goon asked Pankaj, who do you think you are to get involved? And Pankaj's response, it's not what you'd expect. He doesn't say I'm a rich guy or I'm powerful. His answer is so simple but so profound. He just says, I am human. In that one moment, he chooses to act from his conscience, not his status.
So Pankaj does the right thing, right? He calls the police. But get this, the situation actually gets worse. The officers, they show up, and they know the goon. They're in on it. They pretty much laugh it off and tell Pankaj to just walk away, saying, hey, this is just how the world works. It's clear that the very system meant to protect people is part of the problem. But Pankaj, he's not the kind of guy who backs down. He uses his influence, gets the goons arrested, and then he turns back to Radhika. He's handled the immediate threat, but now he makes her an offer that goes way beyond just a single night's rescue. Now you can imagine, Radhika is absolutely terrified. Everything life has taught her says that no one helps without wanting something in return. She resists at first, but Pankaj's sincerity, it manages to break through all that fear. He doesn't ask for anything but her trust, promising her safety and a real chance to start over. And just like that, a whole new life begins for her, built one step at a time. First, he gives her a home, a safe place. Then, day by day, just with simple respect and kindness, he helps her rebuild her trust in people, in herself. He even encourages her to go back to her studies. And eventually, he proposes, not out of pity, but out of real, genuine love. He even adopts her son, creating a new family, built not on circumstance, but on a foundation of shared humanity.
They build this really beautiful life together. And for a while, it honestly seems like they got their perfect happy ending. But, the past, it doesn't just vanish. And those shadows from that one rainy night are about to make a comeback.
Then it happens. One evening, the gang storms their house. It's a violent home invasion. And they aren't there for money. They're there for revenge. Revenge on the man who stood up to them and on the woman who got away.
And even though they manage to fight them off, the attack just shatters Radhika. She becomes convinced that she's the source of all this danger, that she's a threat to the man she loves. So she makes this absolutely heartbreaking decision. She writes a letter, leaves her son in Pankaj's care, and just disappears. She's hoping to draw all the danger away with her. Pankaj is, of course, devastated. But his desperate search for Radhika is cut short. The story now starts racing towards its tragic climax, where the true cost of that first choice he made is finally going to be paid. It all happens so fast. At 8 p.m., a video lands on his phone. It's Radhika. She's been captured. She's injured. The demand is simple. Come alone. Of course he goes. He arrives at this empty, desolate warehouse. A brutal fight breaks out as he tries to get to her. And then, a single gunshot echoes in the darkness.
The bullet, it was meant for Pankaj. But in one final, selfless act, Radhika throws herself in front of him. And as she's dying in his arms, she whispers these last words, promising that her love will live on through him and their son. She gives her life to save his.
But Radhika's death is not the end of the story. It's actually the beginning of a legacy. Her sacrifice completely transforms Pankaj's life and his purpose, turning this awful personal tragedy into a beacon of hope for so many others.
He absolutely refuses to let her memory just fade away. Pankaj creates a foundation in her name, and it's dedicated to helping women just like she was. He pours all his energy into raising their son, making sure her sacrifice was never ever in vain. He turns his grief into this powerful force for good.
And so, that's the story. An incredible account of love, loss, and sacrifice. Pankaj's journey is done, but now the focus shifts right back to you, and to that question we started with.
So when you face that decision, the one between what's easy and what's right, between turning away and stepping up, what are you going to choose? Comfort and security? Or the messy, difficult, but profound call of our shared humanity? The choice, as always, is yours.